Let's see what it looks like. So that's kind of annoying. Yeah, I think this light's plenty bright enough. Let's start catfish rigs. We almost, tonight, the store probably won't open. I'll probably wait until sometime over the weekend to get stuff. I want to add to it. If I can find them. We can tie for a while. Or until we run out of swivels. One of the two. And since I've started tying them and packaging them like this, I just started putting these packages on my boat instead of like getting out there and then being in a hurry to go fishing and then having to tie up rigs and so on and so forth. What's up? This is a 30 pound test main line or leader line. We might even do a giveaway today. We might do a drawing or something. I don't know yet. Depends how many people we get in here, really. We may swap over to tying crappie jigs at some point just to see what happens. Let me turn off the Wi-Fi. Probably better for the video quality. Those swivels I just poured out were too big. If you're new here, I'll show you some of the jigs that we tie. Some of the jigs we've got tied up. That's our Monkey Milk Copycat. And we might get on to tying some of these today. This is a pretty nice looking jig. But we might get on to tying some of them today. I don't know yet. We'll have to fill it out. But we are going to tie some bigger catfish rigs than we've been tying on the past videos. But I'm tying them up for personal use on this one because I need them. What's up, Hayden? Yeah, so everybody share this out. We're going to try and do a giveaway on some, they'll come packaged like this. And there'll be 5 catfish rigs rigged up. So we'll do a drawing. And if you're new to the channel, the way the drawing works is how many ever people are watching. What's up? At the end of the live, when I go to exit off, what we'll do is I'll say a number. I'll write it down with this marker on a piece of paper. And then you guys will guess a number between 1 and whatever number it is. And you can only comment one time. Yes, popcorn sealant. You can only comment one time. And then we'll see who guesses the number closest to the number I wrote down. And then that'll be the person that won. And I'll give you guys the email and everything like that at that point. At that time. I was going to go fishing today, but I'm exhausted and it's 93 degrees outside. Jeff Kendall. Yep. Popcorn ceiling and panel walls. The price is $8 for a pack of 5. And this, I'll show you guys how I package them. The way that I package these, I just roll this line around my fingers like this. So when you get them, they're not going to be all tangled up or nothing. They come in an individual baggie. And then I put 5 of these individual baggies inside of the big baggie. And so that way when you go fishing, you're not dealing with the cluster or all the tangle. And I do all my rigs that way. So, boom. If you get a pack, this is what it'll look like. This is a different style hook than the one we just used. This is a channel catfish rig. And that's a small channel catfish or blue cat rig. small to medium. But when you get it, you pull these hooks out. The first thing you want to do before you tie it up is let it go like that. Okay? This line has what's called memory. And when you tie a snell knot, you stretch to yield anyways. And so when you take this out of the package, you grab both ends and you pull as hard as you can. And that'll take most of the curl out of it and straighten it out pretty well. And under the weight of the hook, it's pretty straight. But that'll just keep there from being a lot of loops in it and coils in it when you're fishing. We may end up tying some bumping rigs too, crappie jigs. I don't know. We'll see where this live goes. We're only 6 minutes in. We've only got one rig tied. If I repeat anything, it's because I'm trying to let the people that are tuning in know where we're at, guys. All right, I gotta put this back in this package. And I'll let you guys vote. There's I've got 3 different size rigs here. This is a silver eagle claw hook. This is it's a little bit bigger than this hook. This is a number 2. And I don't recall what size this is, but it's just obviously a little bit bigger. This will catch channel cats or blue cats. These I like primarily for channel cats. And then these I like for bigger fish. So you guys can vote. Jeff, what's up? You guys can vote on which, so we'll just say small, medium, and large. You guys can vote in the comments on which hooks to give away. And if we get enough people in here, we may do a pack of these crappie jigs. And these are $2.50 each, so that's like, I don't know, I'm not good at math, so you figure it out, but there you go. Sounds like we got my youngest one coming through. How's everybody been doing today? I'm gonna jump right to getting some of these hooks tied up, guys. Jump right to it. Two people in the house. Well, you last 2 people, do we want to see crappie jigs being tied instead? Obviously, the people aren't going for the catfish rigs today. We need to get get an old radio or something going in here. And check out this knot. So it's doubled over on my finger. Put your opposite of your wedding ring finger on there. Wrap it around about 5 or 6 times. Depending on the size of the line. The smaller the line is, the more wraps. The bigger the line is, the less wraps. Push it through there. Cinch her on down. What's up, Gel Boy Edits? Just tying catfish rigs. Trying to get enough people in here so we can decide whether we need to tie crappie jigs today or if we need to be tying catfish rigs today. If you guys haven't already, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. You guys tell me, catfish rigs or crappie jigs? Well, still no vote. Thanks, Jailboy Edits. Catfish rigs it is. We're gonna tie, we got a little pile of hooks here. I don't exactly know how many. Let's see. We got 2 of the big ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so we got 12 of these, 13, 14. 4 short, or 1 short of having 3 packs to sell. We're gonna do a giveaway at the end of this one, guys. Catfish, catfish, catfish. Heck yeah. For sure. What's up, Benny G? You guys do me a favor. Nope. We ain't doing that. Put user in timeout. 24 hours. Yep. I am happily married and plan on continuing staying happily married. So we don't need no spammers or no bullcrap. We are here to tie rigs, catfish rigs. We can talk about anything fishing that you guys want to. Well, thank you. Let's see what we got over here for swivels. These are swivels I used to buy. These, let me pull one out and show you guys. I think I got one floating around in here somewhere actually that's free. I say it's free, it's caught up on a Kell hook. I used to fish with these, but I've actually had these, that little brass ring right there split and come out. Not on a fish or nothing, but on a tree or a rock or whatever it was. So I don't particularly care for those anymore. That's why I still have a pack of them probably. I haven't went through them. Well, all we got left is these giant swivels right here. I think I've got more swivels. Maybe in that box over there. Let's see. I've got plenty of bumping swivels, so it ain't like we're gonna stop tying rigs. We'll just, I want to see if I can get a pack of these. I only need 2 more swivels, so we'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, we're gonna tie a few more of these, and we're gonna switch the type of rig we're tying. What's up, Fancy Cone? Yeah, donations are turned on. Or super chats, or whatever they're called. Do they not show up for you guys? I don't really know how it works from that side of it. I know that they're turned on. And I have like members turned on and stuff like that. It won't let you donate. Yeah, I'll have to figure it out. Let me see what's going on. Oh, that's green screen. I don't want to do that. I don't know how to turn it back off now. None. Let me see what this button does. Let me see what this button does. Rawi, shout out to Camille. What's up, Mike Outdoors? Yeah, I don't really know how to, I have no idea. It says that my super chats are turned on. I can't really click the icon right now. Hang on, let me see something. I'll tell you what I can do. I can go on my laptop real quick. Let me see. Let me see if we can get in the settings. Because that was one of the cooler things about doing this, was going to be like, I don't remember what my password is. You guys give me a second. Okay. That might be it. Nope. I don't know. I don't remember what I made it. Maybe like this. Nope. But I better quit trying before I mess it up. Yeah. No, I already went through that and reset the whole computer to where it was wiped out. What else can I do? Well, you guys just hold on real quick. I'm gonna go get my daughter. Nope, that person fishing. No, you cannot. Okay, that's cool. Thanks for letting me know though, because I didn't know if there was something wrong with the settings or what the deal was. Because I don't know, you know. I'm all just learning all this stuff too, you know. It's I just made it to the point of monetization or whatever, and I still ain't past the threshold for the watch hours for YouTube to start paying for ads. But I can open up a store and stuff, and that's why we're tying inventory. And because I think that'll be cool, man. I'm making an affordable catfish rig that everybody can afford. Yeah, fishing. I mean, yeah, people should make their money, but also on the same thing, it should be affordable too. You know, shouldn't cost $1 million for a rig. Now I'll have, like I said before in the past, I'll have some more expensive rigs. I'm trying to find one to show you guys now. Like, I only trust Gamakatsu and Whisker Seeker circle hooks, and there's another one. I can't think of the name of it right now at the moment. Mustad Demon Circle. I like that one a lot. No, but I still got the rooster tail kit. I need to buy some, like, they got fancy pliers that you have to tie it. But here's what the circle hooks look like. And it's a offset circle hook. I don't know how well the camera's gonna pick that up, but we'll try to get it up there so you can see. Yeah, it's an offset circle hook. If I do use a circle hook, that's what I prefer. And so the circle hook rigs will cost a little bit more, and I'll show you why. I've got a tackle box full of circle hooks, and I've tried various brands. And now, even for a 2-pound channel catfish, he can fit that in his mouth easy. 2-pound blue cat flathead. What's up, Corbin? Now, this eagle claw circle hook, on the other hand, it's also offset. But you see how narrow that gap is? And so if you get a 2-pounder, and he's got to turn around and be loading up that rod. This was the biggest size they had at Walmart. That's how I run my tests on everything. I just get the biggest size. This isn't the biggest size Whisker Seeker. I think this is like a 5/0 or a 6/0. I don't remember. It's been a while since I tested them. I haven't ran circle hooks in years. I run these sometimes just because they're on the boat. But primarily, I'm running this hook, or the most highly underrated hook that there is, and I've caught several 30+ pound catfish on it, is this #2 Eagle Claw bait holder hook. And I primarily use them for channel catfish, but you guys know elephants eat peanuts. And so occasionally a giant runs in and decides he's gonna bite on a fishing pole that I have this hook on. And yeah, this rig will handle a 30+ pound catfish, no problem. Set your drag and play with him for a little bit. I'll also be selling rigs with this hook. These will be more expensive rigs, but like I said, I use these. They're situational hooks. The rest of them are just for my everyday basic catfishing trips. When I'm throwing giant baits, I like a big gap to hold where I can hook the bait deep and still have plenty of hook exposure. Yeah, rainbow trout do fight good. They're a lot of fun. For sure, no doubt about it. They, the ones that are stocked in Missouri, they fought pretty good. I think I have a couple videos catching them on there on YouTube. But I caught one this year that was a stalker trout at Sahoma. And yeah, those trout are freaking, they're a fighting fish. They're pretty acrobatic too. They like to get out of the water. And they dig good. You posted yours on shorts, I'll have to check it out. I will have to check it out. Did you release them or eat them? Yeah, I'll look this evening, or whenever I get off here. Yeah, you're welcome. Anyway, let's get back to tying up some of these rigs. We got to burn through these hooks. We might do 2 giveaways. We're starting to get some people in here. So we're going to give away a 5-pack of catfish rigs. Whoever the winner is, I'll just let you decide which size. There's 3 different sizes. There's this medium size, small size, and larger size. And I'll just let whoever wins decide. Just broke my PB largemouth. It was 5 pounds and 12 ounces. Heck yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I guess I need to get this up here instead of down there in my lap, huh? It's been pretty cool tying these rigs. Like I said, now I just keep a handful of these on the boat already rigged. The big one jumped. Yeah, those trout they're pretty cool. I don't really take advantage of it, but there's 2 places that are pretty close to me that stock trout, and I don't know why I really never take advantage of it, but I'm gonna start. Corbin, I appreciate it. Gonna start taking advantage of those trout. And you know, those places that have those, I don't know where you're fishing at, if they're stock trout or if they're they just live there. But those small lakes that are like 10 acres or whatever, and they stock trout in them, well, they also stock catfish in the summertime. Okay, so if you catch those trout and then you clean them and you keep the scraps and you freeze them, there will be a time where that trout will be the best bait that you can use to catch catfish in that body of water, because those trout, when the water starts getting up in the 70s or to the 70s, those trout start dying off. Well, big bass and catfish and everything that likes to eat other fish for food, they're all down there waiting. And so if you can get a trout when trout season's about to end, or even while it's trout fishing season, if it's legal to do in your state, which in Oklahoma it is, And they're all going to die anyways. And so you might as well get you one and use him for bait and try it out. And you might just catch the biggest fish of your life. Yeah, they are greedy little boogers. But me and my daughter, we tried eating it, and it was pretty good. I didn't really know how to do it, and I didn't even realize that they had that many bones in them. But they're, you know, people say that carp is bad to eat because of all the bones, and people complain about bluegills and all the bones. And yet there's 9 billion people that love to eat trout. And so it kind of blows my mind. Is it allowed in the UK? I have no idea if you're allowed to use trout for bait in the UK. I don't know. Regulations in America, they vary from state to state. And I don't know, you guys over there, you guys have provinces or do you guys have states in the UK? I don't really know how that works over there. I'll bring this up to the camera and I'll show you guys on the next one how I'm doing this. That way you guys can get in on it. Because you can literally tie these rigs yourself if you want to. If you want to. It's a rig I've been using for a long time and it works really well. You're supposed to stretch these to yield, but it's not really necessary. How many? 25. Probably 4 actually. I'm gonna guess 4. Three magnets on size 14 hook. If I made soft plastics when you sell those, people would clean them off the shelves. Well, I might have to do that, but I've been working on my crappie jigs. I don't know if you, I'll show you what some of my crappie jigs are looking like these days. I call this one the non-barb, yep. Some places are like that in over here too. Depends where you're fishing at and how close to the dam you are actually. That's a murder hornet pattern. That's a 1/16 jig head. I'll be selling 5 packs of them for 10 bucks. And I've been catching pretty good fish on them here lately. And I've been catching a lot of fish on the Crush 'em series, which is pretty much that same thing, just black and orange. And then I've even caught a few fish on this one, and this is my version of monkey milk, but I'm gonna call it money milk for copyright reasons or whatever. And I had a pack of 5 of them around here too. Oh, here it is. Right here. And so we might end up doing 2 giveaways this live, I don't know yet. But yeah, I've been busy with the jigs, tying jigs, and catfish rigs. I would like to start, I've already got items on my store listed. I just haven't published the store. I gotta add, there's a few more things that I wanna add, but what kind of soft plastics do you think I should add, Mike Outdoors? Guys, if you're just tuning in, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed. And at the end of this live, we're going to do a giveaway. We're giving away 5 catfish rigs. There's 3 different sizes you'll get to pick from. Let me see how many of these I've got tied. I wanted to tie up enough for 1 more bag. All right, we got this. We're going to switch to tying bumping rigs. And so I need to get this line over here, this line over here. There's a little bit more to the bumping rig. So we got to get a little bit more organized to make that happen. All right. I said we were going to tie bumping rigs, but I see a handful of swivels in front of my face. And I need to tie up some of these gems right here. So I'm going to go ahead and go through a few of them real fast. Won't take long. That one's good. There's two different sizes of these hooks, and I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but I'm going to try and show you. Yeah, I think I can get it to come out on camera. But I buy them in two sizes because I use them on different fishing poles, and the different fishing poles, or the two poles that I use them on, have different actions on this, how fast the okay, so at the tip of the rod, if it bends like this, it's like it's a slow action. If it bends like this and it starts getting stiff, like early in the blank, that's a fast action. Okay, and so when I fish with the fast action with monofilament, I'll fish with this thicker 10-aught. But mind you, there's not much difference in these two hooks. But when I fish with a slow action, this is a thinner wire hook, and I know that the camera probably ain't picking that up very well. But like I said, you can barely tell the size difference. I got one hook stacked on top of another, and you can see that the smaller hook is on the inside of the 10-aught. But that's an 8-aught, and it's also a thinner wire. So when I'm using it, and it has a slower action, and it has more of a parabolic bend, it bends all the way through the rod, you'll get a better hookup ratio with a thin wire hook. And so I'm trying to sort through these hooks, and like I said, you guys probably won't pick up on it that well as far as me sorting through these hooks. Sinkos, crawls, creatures, paddle tails, twisters. You know, it's actually funny that you've mentioned that, because there's a guy that I work with, and he runs a mill, and I've been thinking about like trying to prototype my own bait. Yeah, those are all 10-aughts. Here's the 8-aught. 8-aught. Looks like I'm gonna have to stock up on them 8-aughts. I am about out of them. There's the 8-aught. That's 4. That's 5. Yeah, so we'll tie up them 5 8-aughts. We're gonna leave these 10-aughts for another day. But look at that. That's an 8-aught Team Catfish circle hook. I even ran those things for a while, and it has a deep V on it. And so I did like this circle hook, but I think they discontinued them. I haven't seen them in a long time. We'll just put it that way. I haven't seen them in forever, so I don't know what the deal is. We're gonna run these with 50-pound test. I change out my leaders pretty often, so 50-pound test gets me by. And if I catch a giant on there and he scuffs it up, I'll change it out right then. But here, I'm just gonna undo that. I want to show you guys this real quick. So I take the hook, put the tag in through there, lay it down flat on the shank of the hook, pinch it with between my index finger and my thumb, take my main line, I go around, and I start my loops going the opposite direction of where that, you know where they bend the hook around? I go the opposite direction of the way that is, and I'll try to show you guys that here in a minute. And I go 8 wraps, because then when you pull it back through, it's going to take off one of the loops, and that makes 7. And in my head, 7's the perfect number because it's God's number, 7 days in a week. 7 wraps makes sense, never slips, never failed. And so I pull it back that way because that first wrap on that hook shank right there actually stops these coils or these curls in the line from making contact to where that machined part is. Let's see if I can find one that's better. There's like you see that flat spot right there? There's like a little sharp edge on either side, and that's on most every fishing hook that you'll ever use. It's not really that big of a deal. It probably isn't going to cost you that many fish. It just makes me feel better. But I know a machinist at work, and I've been thinking about prototyping a bait. Back to that conversation. Maybe some kind of soft plastic slab tail. I don't know yet. But I definitely want to do something. I definitely want to try it out. We might have to go to tying crappie jigs, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I lack like 500 watch hours on YouTube, and I haven't been able to get a good video out. We had a full moon the other day, and for whatever reason, me and full moons, we do not get along. I've got several videos where I've attempted to go catch catfish under a full moon, and it just does not work out very well for me. The bite window is a lot smaller when there's a full moon, that is for sure. And I'm just going to individually bag these in these big bags. I have no idea how I'm going to ship these or what they're going to cost or what the rig's going to cost. I'm going to have to go buy some of the hooks to, I'm going to have to buy them in a bulk to figure out what I would have to sell them at to make it worthwhile to sell them. Because they're not exactly cheap hooks. But I have a feeling if I bought them in bulk instead of buying the packs of like, they come in a pack of 8, I think. If I'd start buying them in bulk, like probably 100 hooks at a time, they'd probably be a lot cheaper. But they're a Daiichi hook, and it's the style is a jackhammer J hook, and you'll see a lot of guys on heck yeah, Jello Boy edits. You'll see a lot of just got back from a catfish. You'll see a lot of guys on YouTube that set diddy poles and bank poles. They'll use this catfish catch. Heck yeah. You'll see a lot of guys use this hook on them diddy poles. I just happen to like them on rod and reel. They're my favorite. Wildcat, you have a wholesale account with owner and BKK. Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to check you out. Do you guys have this style? This jackhammer J hook? Giant flathead? Heck yeah. I like the 8/0. It's a little bit thinner wire, and then the 10/0 is just a hair bigger, but it's a little bit thicker wire, and I use it on my fast action rod, and on my slower action rods, I use this thinner wire hook. Yeah, I need to go check out some more of your page and dig around on it, Wildcat. Dang thing broke your rod. Shoot, check my some of my videos out. I've been having horrible luck with rods this year. I've been going through them. And your hook? Well, that ain't no good. No good at all. Yeah, one fish I tried to flip up on the bank and I broke a rod. Another rod, I was setting the hook, and when I set the hook, the rod broke. But I think I went under a bridge, and I think those two rods may have been sticking up, hanging on the rod holder. And I know that they slapped. I just didn't remember which ones it was, and it had been a while back, so I didn't think it hurt them. I thought I got lucky. But it was probably those two rods that slapped the bridge. So Meat Hunter. The one of them that broke was the Meat Hunter, and one of them was just an off-brand. Someone broke my pin rod, my Pin Pursuit 4. I'll get into that story in a minute, but one was a Meat Hunter Flex, and then one was just a knockoff rod. Mike Outdoors. What's up, Adam? I don't know if you guys have ever even heard of Meat Hunter. If you're not from around the Oklahoma area, they're a pretty big deal here in Oklahoma. Everybody has a Meat Hunter. If you don't know about them, you should check them out. The big yellow rod that I'm always throwing on my boat, I think I've had it for like 8 or 9 years now. And it's bulletproof. I've pulled up whole trees that were like 20 foot long on 50-pound test. Okuma CLX Classic, 24 bucks. But anyhow, those Meat Hunters are bulletproof. They're not that high priced either. I mean, you can get, they have really high priced ones. They have some high valued ones, but they also have a lot of them that are like 70 to 80 bucks. They're a pretty affordable rod. But they're bulletproof. Like I said, just don't get the Meat Hunter Flex. I don't know. I hate to talk crap about them because they are my favorite rod up to this point. I am about to try some other rods. I think I'm going to start out with Mad Cats. I think I'm going to buy like 8 Mad Cats rods and use them for a year. I'm going to buy a few different actions, like a medium heavy, but I mostly, well, Jebel edits, I appreciate it. I'm working on it, but honestly, I'm probably lucky to have the amount of subscribers. Yeah, it is. Honestly, I'm probably lucky to have the amount of subscribers I have. Sometimes I get busy with work and life, and then I'll go on a hiatus for 6 months. And so to have made it this far into YouTube and to have got the watch hours, I've almost got enough watch hours to be fully monetized through YouTube. And so to have made it this far is pretty stinking awesome, especially, you know, sometimes I don't even have my camera with me and I'll be recording off of a cell phone or something, you know. I just kind of just had fun doing this up until this point. Now I'm trying to take it serious and it seems like I'm having to grind it. Okay, it's ThatDamfishingguy 247 at gmail.com. If it doesn't go through with the 247, just try ThatDamfishingguy. Yeah, no, it's ThatDamfishingguy 247 at gmail.com. If my daughter would come up here, she knows my password to my computer. Usually, like, I can just put my fingerprint on my computer and it'll let me in there, and so that's how I end up forgetting the dang password, but she knows what it is. But it's been a few days since I've been on there, and after, like, I don't know if it's 24 hours or 48 hours or whatever, then it'll do that bull crap to where I have to put in the password before I can use my fingerprint again, which absolutely does not make any sense to me at all. Yeah, we'll get that email listed. I'll have my wife listed, or my daughter, or someone. Hey, Wildcat, does my super chat thing show up over there? Someone earlier was telling me that, anyway, I don't know if it shows up on you guys' site or not. I tried to turn it on too, but I thought I listed an email too. It does? Okay. Thank you, Mike Outdoors. And I was just curious if that worked or not at all, because, like I said, going through all these settings and stuff like that, I'm just a welder, you know. I build stuff and I weld stuff, and I just kind of fumble through editing videos, and I started really trying to work hard at it. And I used to just record, like when I was catching a fish, I would hit record or whatever. And so you guys would never see the takedown. Well, Now I put the freaking tripod up on the boat and I sit there and I record the entire time that I am fishing. So I'll have 4 to 6 hours worth of content, and then I'll have to go back through there. Bass Pro Shop. I'll have to go back through all the content and erase everything out that was, blanks or repeats or, me just sitting around rambling. Because even when I'm not live, I'm just sitting there talking to the camera the entire time, and then I have to go back through and decide what makes the cut as far as the video goes and what doesn't. But that's all right. You guys want me to tie bumping rigs next, or do you want me to tie crappie jigs? I don't even know where my, let's see. There they are. Is there one on your page? Is your email linked on your page? Yeah, we got plenty of crappie jigs. We can tie some jigs after I tie this last catfish rig. Okay. Well, then we'll get in touch one way or another. Dip it and let it soak in warm water. You talking about your leaders? Gel Boy Edits? Yeah, you can do that. What I do when I pull them out of the package is when you tie a snell knot, you're supposed to stretch to yield. 50 pounds is a pretty high yield, but I just grab it by the swivel on hooks that I can, put my fingers through there like that, and then I just give it a freaking couple pulls, and that just cinches it down, and then we'll just try it with the swivel end, seeing there ain't that much bend in it. And that's just a swivel holding it, or holding it straight. And so I do that sometimes, but I'll tell you what works really good. Now I do this on my crappie line, and I haven't done it this year, but I need to. It'll make it cast further, and you'll get less wind knots. If you take fabric softener, the kind that's in a spray bottle, you get at Dollar General or Walmart or wherever, Costco, Sam's Club, wherever, and you get some fabric softener and you spray your spool down on your reel. You just take your fishing reel, and we'll say this is the spool of line, and you just spray it. Spray it. I don't know. I can't check it while I'm live. I'll have to wait until I hop off the live, and then I'll check it and I'll tell you. Yeah, my tip is to start today, and if you even go perch fishing, which is small panfish, you go get you some, let's see if we got any handy right here. I usually do. You go get you some small perch hooks or some small jig heads, even better. This jig head will keep the bluegill from swallowing the entire hook. Your state doesn't have crappies. It might have been my wife. She handles my business as far as email goes, because I'm not tech savvy like that as good as she is. So I was going to tell her to check it out. Anyhow, I can put Nightcrawler on here. Rohan Bohmik. I hope I didn't murder your name. What's up, guys? Anyway, use a jig head starting out, a small one. Put you a piece of Nightcrawler on there. Just buy you some Nightcrawlers, some red wigglers or something, and break them in half. Put him on there. Put it underneath the float about 3 foot deep and fish pretty close to the bank, and start out there perch fishing. And I'll tell you what, you can catch bass doing that. You catch catfish doing that. You'll catch perch doing that. Crappie, almost every species of fish that swims will eat a Nightcrawler. And so if you start out there, you'll definitely get addicted. That's just the nature of the beast when it comes to fishing. Let's get this table cleared off, and we're gonna we're gonna move on to tying up some crappie jigs. Let me set this stuff over here. 2, 4, 5. I'm gonna have to get another box just for holding catfish rigs that have already been tied up. I'm gonna try to fit them in here with these envelopes. Yeah, no problem. I need to make a thing of videos, a string of videos or whatever they call them, to show people how to go catch fish fun and simple way. We're gonna put these hooks up. We're gonna go ahead and just throw these 4 swivels in there. Throw that over there. And we're gonna start tying up some jigs real fast. These over here. We got a little bit of a mess going on, a bigger mess than I figured we'd have tying catfish rigs. But we are on to tying some crappie jigs. And so let's try that for a little while. Let me find my vise. I set up this little station for tying jigs and rigs and so on and so forth, and it's gotten a little hectic. Make sure we got that in view. And these crappie jigs don't have to be for crappie. You can catch bass on them. You can catch walleye on them. You can catch white bass. You can catch anything on these jigs. I use them for white bass, crappie, bluegill. I use them for a little bit of everything. But we're about to start doing some creek fishing. Me and the girls will probably start doing some wading to go fishing. And I'll take you guys along for that too. Let's get this camera adjusted where it's the right height for this. I think I need to bring it closer and more like that. Get you guys framed up properly. Get out the old thread bobbin. Yeah, these most definitely, these ones that I'm about to tie right now, I primarily use these for catching bluegill. And because they're my favorite size for catching bluegill. What do I do with my box of feathers? I don't know. I got so much stuff going on right here in this one area. There they are. There they are. All right. We're gonna tie like that murder hornet pattern, but we're not gonna tie it with the, we're just gonna take some yellow feather, black feather, and then what we're gonna do is, that should be all of that I need. There's the chenille, there's the thread. We'll get a few more of these yellow feathers, one more of these black feathers. All right, let's go to work, guys. You can literally catch anything on these jigs. I've even got a video catching a catfish on one of these jigs. I've caught bass on them. There was a guy that won a giveaway. He caught his PB bass on one of my crappie jigs. He turned around and ordered like 60 of them from me. That's a video tying an order of jigs for a guy. We made that into a live. I'm gonna come over here. I'll just show you guys real quick. I'm gonna go like 1/4 inch sections to 3/8. And I'm just gonna go through there with the scissors and I'm gonna clip the quill of the feather or the vein or whatever you wanna call it. And I'm gonna clip it until it starts getting thick. And then I'm gonna, this much of the feather, going bye-bye. And then I'll use those little sections that we just cut. That's my undercoat. These are also this is my one of my favorite sizes because you can catch big fish, you can catch little fish, and it has a fall flow rate. So I feel like I do better on a jig with the fall rate being really slow, because it's in front of the fish's face longer. Get them feathers spread out. There's a little bit of paint on that hook. Let's clear that off. That ought to do it. We don't have much of this yellow chenille left, so we'll tie it until we run out of this color anyways. And just when I think I have everything handy, I don't. There we go. I actually have a piece of that, a piece of black and yellow chenille over here from last time I tied jigs. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, Adam Smiley. Let's get the scissors. We'll trim that up. See if I can get a good picture of that. Little bitty jig. Little bitty jig. I'll show you that in comparison to a 1/16 ounce. Little bitty. 1/16 is a pretty small jig. Rebecca Van Nortwick, I have no idea. But I posted it on my page where you tried saying that I didn't mail out your jigs, and and I did mail out your jigs, and it wasn't a mailing issue. The issue is you sent me the wrong address, and then 3 days later, after I'd already sent your jigs, you had decided to send me a different address. So yeah, that's an issue. You don't go on somebody's pet channel calling them out when the mistake was on your end and not the person that's sending out the won prizes in. That's not cool. It's not right at all. And all of this stuff costs me money, and so you're just asking for a free handout after I had already mailed your jigs to the wrong address, but that was your problem. You're the one that gave me the wrong address. Anyhow, back to tying these jigs. The next one we're going to tie with some of this other chenille I have over here. I kind of got that hook in there cattywampus, but it'll be all right. It'll be all right. I don't know. They never returned them to me. So that first address you gave me, I guess that they would be there, if I had to guess. That's where they would be at. The first address you sent me. All right, let's type another one. And we are going to use a little bit different chenille on this one. Actually, a lot different. I got this from Ruben Flores. Jig Tying Company. Nope. Boom. Just like that. That is what happens when you call somebody out. She more or less, she called me out in one of my YouTube videos saying that I never mailed her package. But you guys can go and check it out. I don't ever erase no emails. And so we had the email from when she said, I forget what she said. She said I didn't send her jigs or whatever. Well, for one, that was a crap lie. For two, I don't erase no emails, and so I had all the emails, and she'd sent me one address the day she'd won, and then I mailed out the jigs. Then 3 days later, she sends me another address and says, hey, I sent you the wrong address. Send them to this address. No, it's too late. They're already in the mail. There's nothing I can do about that. I can't just, I can't stop the freaking mail truck or the mail system and be like, hey, I mailed these to the wrong address. Can you send them back? Like, I stick them in a regular envelope. When you guys send me the address to whoever wins, I literally have a book of stamps and envelopes, a whole box of them right here. This box, full of envelopes and some feathers, but full of envelopes and stuff. So when you guys win something, you send me the address, they go out the door. So you can't send me the wrong address and then expect me to freaking turn around and jump through hoops and send you another care package after you won the first time. But now I just sent some random people some jigs and you lost out. Like, it takes time and these cost money, and yes, I'm making fishing stuff. Yeah, I've been ranting though, haven't I? Anyway, guys, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. We will be doing a giveaway at the end of this video. But considering, we'll see how long this goes. Which one do you guys like better? You guys like this? Let me get that light aimed a little bit differently. You guys like this pattern? There we go. You guys like that pattern? Or, well, I appreciate it. I got these two jigs tangled up, or this pattern. This is a shinier chenille. I use it a lot in creeks because it has a thinner profile, and all of the, I don't know if it'll pick up on here, all these little pieces are like, they're layered. I don't really know how to explain it, but they collapse when a fish bites it, okay? This is a fatter body, like it's a thicker chenille. And so for like bigger jigs, I like the thick chenille. For smaller jigs, I like the flatter chenille. But I really wish that I could find this chenille that I'm using right here. I wish I could find it thicker, but I can't. Cannot. I want a shiny chenille like that for bigger jigs, 1/16 and stuff like that, but no luck so far. Well, I got wild quick. There we go. I gotta move my bait tank sometime this week. I need to move it somewhere that's in the shade. I like to put it under the east eave of the house, or the roof, east. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's called the eave, but anyway, the part of the roof that when the rain runs off, it goes in there because it keeps the bait tank full, or fills it back up, because every time I catch bait, I'll dump the water out, and then every time it rains, it'll fill it back up. So I always have fresh water, and so that way my bait does really well. Well, it is officially, unofficially turned summer. And we've been up in the 80s and the 90s, and it was 93 degrees today. I don't know if any of you guys have ever tried keeping bait in 93-degree weather, but it does not like it. Doesn't work out too well. So I need to get my bait tank moved to the shade. And then we might do a creek fishing video with some of these jigs, because it's about that time of year. I haven't took the kids to do that yet this year. And they really enjoyed that last year. We did some lives down there. It was pretty cool. I need to figure out this light situation. Find out what works best for you guys. That's like making them blurry on my end, so I don't know what it's doing for you guys' end. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Yeah, so something like that. You might pull the feathers up like something like that. Trim them off with the scissors, and then depending on the size of the fish that I'm catching or what they're averaging, sometimes if I'm getting a lot of short strikes and I'm just catching bait, I'll take these jigs and I'll pinch the tail, something like that, and I'll just take a pocket knife and press it up against my thumb, and then I'll just cut all these feathers. Sometimes that's just what you got to do. Shorten them up to get the hook up. We're gonna switch back to that shinier chenille. Too big of a hurry. Yeah, what time is it? 6:14. You guys go ahead and let me write a number down real quick. Let me find something to write it on. I have this card. There are no numbers on this card. So I'm going to write down a number. You guys guess a number, 1 through 13, but don't guess more than one time. And then we'll see who wins. And then whoever wins, email me your address, and we'll get you some catfish rigs mailed out to you right away. So I'm going to take my kids, and we are going to go catch some fish out of the creek. Nobody wants to win any jigs today? Or catfish rigs? We got 1 minute, then we're calling her done for the day. Let's play around with this stuff. What does this do? Well, that's pretty cool. Green screen. I can like change it to different stuff, huh? Oh, that's pretty cool. All right, guys, 30 seconds and I'm out of here. I wrote down the number. If anyone wants to take a guess at a number, 1 through 13, to win some catfish rigs. Seven. Yeah, big man. Guess what? That was the number. Email me at ThatDamfishingguy247@gmail.com. Comment yes if you got that. It's ThatDamfishingguy247@gmail.com. Email me and email me your address, and I'll get your catfish rigs sent out tonight. Oh yeah, there was one more thing. There was 3 different sizes, and at the beginning of the live, I had said I'll let you guys pick out the size. We have where are they at? These are mediums. Well, I don't know where they're at, but we have 3 different sizes. There they are. We have small, medium, and large. What size do you want? Or you can just send me that in the email. Small, medium, or large. The small is more for like channel catfish, but I have caught 30+ pound blue cats on them. The medium is like for your typical, you know, any size blue cat up to like 30 pounds, like fishing all day for them. And then these are bigger hooks, like for your 30+ pound fish. But just send what size hooks or what size rigs and get me your address. I'm out of here, guys. Have a good one.